Yes, now, pediatric airway surgeon and assistant professor at Columbia University's Irving Medical Center in New York City, Dr. Susanna Hills. Dr. Hills, thank you so much for being here. Officials are warning that the U.S. will see a record number of coronavirus cases and hospitalizations due to the Omicron variant. Give us your 30,000-foot take on this, your broad overview about the latest situation with the virus.
Yeah, Jonathan, it's really incredible that we are here now sitting where we were last year at this time, after all of this time in this pandemic, and it is discouraging. Positivity rates are now up 7% in the last week across the United States. 69,000 Americans are hospitalized right now, and over 20% of our ICU beds are being utilized for COVID patients. So it's really concerning, and my concern is that the healthcare system is really going to be under intense and really possibly unbearable pressure in the next few weeks. The bottom line is that those people who are hospitalized are nearly all unboosted individuals. So I just have to urge everybody who is unvaccinated and unboosted to go out and get their vaccinations, because that is the way that we're going to get through this.
Speaking of boosters, just a few minutes ago, Moderna put out information, it's their own, hasn't been peer-reviewed yet, but suggests that its booster does provide significant additional protection against this new Omicron variant that follows similar findings from Pfizer about their booster. So you mentioned the boosters, we know they're important here, but we're also hearing about breakthrough cases. But dispel some myths. People who are boosted, generally speaking, if they get COVID, what sort of illness should they anticipate?
That is so important, yes. People need to understand that the goal of the vaccines is not to prevent infection entirely. We're not going to have a vaccine that prevents infection 100%. But what these vaccines and the booster will do is keep people out of the hospital. It reduces what could be a hospital-level severe infection that could cause death to something that can be managed at home with much more mild symptoms like fever, chills, aches that will run its course in a week or two. So getting that vaccine and then getting that booster is incredibly important to keeping people out of the hospital and to saving lives.
So obviously, Christmas is just a matter of days at this point. What sort of precautions should people be taking right now as they think about holiday office parties? Well, frankly, I think most of those have been canceled. But whether it's office parties or family gatherings or traveling, getting on a train or an airplane, what are some things that people and families should be doing to stay safe as they prepare for Christmas?
Yes. It's a really challenging time. People want to get together and they want to see family and friends, and that is so important. But right now, with the Omicron variant being so much more transmissible and with case numbers just doubling every 3 days or so across the United States, it is essential that every person who is unvaccinated and not boosted get their doses. They definitely should get their doses before gathering with other family members or friends. Those people who are at higher risk as well need to be really careful, even if they've had full vaccination and boosters, that those that are around them also have had vaccines and boosters. So really knowing the vaccination status of those around you is incredibly important. And then, of course, if you're in a situation where you're uncertain or if you're out in public, then doing those things that have worked against any virus, like masking, hand washing, maintaining some distance, those are the things that will protect you as well.
And though they're hard to come by at the moment, test if you can. Dr. Hills, thank you so very much for being here. We'll talk to you again soon.